It's been a minute, I know. Listen, before you fucking judge me, this is coming from somebody who has gotten bullied. I noticed that in a lot of like anti-bullying films, they don't really represent the character of somebody getting bullied, as in like the victim is always just like a quiet girl who's white and skinny and just like has no friends and gets bullied because they're quiet. Which, not saying that's not a likely scenario to happen. People get bullied for literally breathing, okay? But I think a lot of people have to acknowledge that victims of bullying are usually annoying and they're usually weird. And this is coming from somebody who is annoying as fuck and weird as hell, okay? And I think it's because a lot of people aren't willing to accept that you're bullying somebody, because to them it's like, oh, but they're annoying. Oh, but they're actually mean. Oh, but they say mean things to me back. That's still bullying. And the reason why these weird kids are so mean to people out of nowhere is because after years and years of just torment, of discrimination for whatever, they think it's the only way to respond. And I've seen this literally in myself. People used to be super ignorant towards me, and so I will admit this, when I was younger, I used to respond the same way. Obviously, I got backlash for it, and it just goes a long way to show that people do not consider you a real victim of bullying unless you fit their head of what a victim of bullying looks like, which they're usually just like quiet, or they don't respond, they're like all alone with friends. But no, if you take a look at any of the weird kids at your school, they probably have a friend group. I have a friend group, and because you don't see them as real victims, you let that sly behavior pass by. You take pictures of them and pass them along through Snapchat because you think, oh, well, they're like a weird annoying person, so it's okay to do that. It's not okay. This is also why we see a lot of compilations with like cosplayers or like furries, Therians, etc. And the excuse is always, but it's cringy. Okay, so it's cringy for a 13-year-old to be a Therian, so you're gonna put them in a compilation for a bunch of teenagers and adults to make fun of. That's normal to you. Or you're gonna put a 20-year-old cosplayer in a cringe compilation for cosplaying. I watched somebody talk about this once, and that's what made me realize this, and they said something like, I knew I was annoying in school, and that's why I got bullied. And it's like, why can't two things coexist at once, People who get bullied are going to end up being very mean or very defensive of themselves and what they love and what they do because of that. And that doesn't mean that just because they can stick up for themselves, that doesn't mean that they're not a victim of bullying. They're 100% a victim of bullying. It's just the fact that the way that you treated them is the reason why they're responding like that. So I don't know, I think it's just very funny to consider, because for a long time I did not consider myself someone who got targeted a lot, because I was always doing something back, but I think it's just like, I feel like we need to have more accurate representation when it comes to it, because I remember watching what was it? I can't get the cap off, and the movie never made much sense to me. I guess I never saw any anti-bullying assemblies or scenarios or plays where the victim was not the same character, like, where are all of the people who got bullied for being on the spectrum? Which is a lot of them. A lot of people who have ADHD, OCD, autism are usually ones being targeted for things they cannot control, or because they don't act or talk or look or are interested in things that everybody else is. And we don't really get to see a lot of that, but it is true. A lot of people who are on the spectrum do face bullying for years on end, but it's okay because they're weird, or it's okay because they're cringy. I don't know, I just feel like we have to see more of that. And it really annoys me, because I had a video blow up around like middle school tips for younger people, like 11 through 14-year-olds. I'm 15, so I'm not okay. And a lot of people who got bullied were Therians, people who did not even have like common interests, people who had disabilities. I had a lot of younger kids saying that this was the first video that actually made them feel as if they were getting real advice. And it is true, because I remember when I was 10, 11 years old, I would look up advice for middle schoolers, and all I would see is like a bunch of really popular girls who just tell you make friends, join clubs. But the truth is, it's not easy to do all that when you're already setting yourself up for failure by either being a different skin color or not liking preppy Lululemon stuff. I'm sorry, that sounded a little bit like edgelord like, but that is what you get left out for. If you don't like the same shit as everybody else, you're going to get left out. So it kind of made me feel a certain way, the fact that in all these years of YouTube and videos and warnings or school assemblies about anti-bullying, I had never come across a video that made me feel as if I was getting real advice from somebody like me, you know? And so to have people telling me in my comment section that I was that video for them meant a lot to me. And I just feel like we gotta talk about this more. Like, let's wake this up. Let's get a little bit more woker. Let's get a little bit more accurate, okay? And let's stop freaking hating. Let's stop hating on these kids who just turned 10 for not liking the same things that you do. Not everybody wants to watch Love Island. Not everybody wants to immediately get a boyfriend, okay? Some people have different interests, and that's okay. Bye.